they've also created this policy where you must have insurance,
Mm.
but you pay the insurance all this while until that event happens.
Yeah.
So not only are you going through the pain of being sick from having to eat all this junk food all your life,
Yeah.
to now the insurance companies start coming up with stories before they can start treating you. Your
Yes.
employer lets you go, so you automatically lose
Your
those healthcare
benefits.
benefits. So
Yeah.
you end up just go to zero.
Health is wealth. Have you ever been sick before?
Hmm.
Or do you even have a sick family member right now? What if we told you, and we're sure some of you know this, that some people want you to be sick because it is profitable for them? In this video, we're going to be talking about health is wealth and how the pharmaceutical industry benefits from you being sick and how that takes money out of your pocket. And then we're also going to talk about how you can take back control of your wealth by taking back control of your health.
Yes, sir.
Double up.
Champion.
Talk to us. Some people might look at this situation and go, what do you mean? Hospitals are designed to cure people.
Hmm.
Hospitals are designed to be a, how would you say, the saving grounds for when you're sick. You're supposed to go to the hospital and the doctor is going to take care, right? The doctor should care, should be compassionate about
The
treating you,
nurses.
right? Getting you back up to speed so you can carry on with your life. Well, I guess we'll say the nurses. I'm sure the nurses. Let me talk to you, nurses, real quick.
Don't start. Don't start.
It's nobody's fault that you did not go for the doctorate. However, I'll also say that that actually also speaks to the type of system that we are in,
Yeah.
because I've heard that the nurses are more doctors than some doctors,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But take it away, sir.
Champion. So, do you know that ever since the moment you are born onto this planet,
Yeah.
after surviving the nurses,
Some salty nurses would think they should be doctors.
don't come after me though, don't come after me.
We love the nurses.
That if you were not a breastfeeding baby,
Hmm.
that your baby milk
Mm.
is already filled with sugar. So
Mm.
before we even get to the pharmaceutical, the companies that create the products
Yeah,
are already filling you with sugar.
they really are. And I think the sugar never stops. It keeps carrying on throughout your life, right?
Yes.
Because the same companies that have this, uh, I guess,
Control over the baby food,
yes, take over the baby food, also
fifth
carry over into a lot of the things that you eat into the rest
cereals,
of your life,
all your
right?
sugary food, your snacks in
E-
college, in high school.
Exactly. Through adolescence, teenage years,
Yep.
and even when you're an old person, you're being pumped with
All
sugar.
and then they pass you on to the pharmaceutical to dunk you.
Exactly. Now, this is where we would say when it comes to the pharmaceutical industry, uh, they are really stealing your wealth
Hmm.
by you being in an unhealthy place. You
Yes.
see, there's actually been evidence linking sugar to lack of
Cancer.
attention, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cancer and all of these other things, and many other additives into our food. This is no longer a secret at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
That drives you towards a specific direction. And
Mm-hmm.
that direction is the hospital.
Or the
Now,
nursing home.
yeah, or the nursing home, right? Now once you get to the nursing home or to the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
what happens here? You would imagine that your doctor should be interested in curing whatever is going on with you.
Kill. Keyword kill.
Yes, at the same time, okay, we are all aware of the fact that there is natural remedies to healing.
Mm-hmm.
That is, we'll leave that as a side note. But those sort of remedies have been completely removed from the Western medicine environment.
For a reason.
It is completely controlled by the pharmaceutical industry. So, what does this mean? This means even if your doctor could cure a certain condition, and I can speak to this because actually my father is going through this right now.
Mm.
Even if your doctors could cure you of a specific condition, they would prefer to just give you treatments, as they call it, things that will keep you coming back to the pharmaceutical industry to buy and buy and buy.
In some states, it's actually the law. So the pharmaceutical companies have worked with the legislators
Yes.
to forcefully tell you that this is the process that you must follow.
So let me make sure I'm understanding what you're saying there.
Yes.
What you're saying is that private entities
Mm.
have engaged in communication, discussions, negotiations, and come to an agreement that the general public has to go through certain processes or a certain path, which leads to their profits in order for you to get medication.
They have lobbied your voted in legislators and your
Yeah.
governments to create laws, rules, and policies
Mhm.
to benefit their wallets,
Okay.
while you think that they are protecting centralized authorities, by the way.
Let me just roll back because what I'm going to talk about here next is some evidence to show that Americans are being stolen from
Mm.
your wealth and your wealth and your health.
Health.
Okay.
What?
Yeah. Your wealth
Well,
and your health is being extracted from you by these people. But before I talk about that,
Mm,
I think what we just defined there is
mm,
exactly the definition of corruption,
mm,
is the definition of bribery.
mm.
Here is something that is interesting that many people might not know. In the United States,
Yes, sir.
you cannot bribe. There is anti-bribery rules that you have to
But you can lobby.
follow, but you can lobby.
Mm,
Lobbying is the same thing as bribery, it's just named something else. The same way as outside of the US, this is actually something that's so funny. When I
mm.
was in Malaysia and I pointed out some of the things that were happening here, the doctors over there straight up just said, "We don't care. What America is doing is ridiculous. It makes no sense." So if you can go into the doctor's office,
Mm,
right? Malaysia, Thailand, wherever,
mhm.
and you can consult with the doctor, and then right there, they can just give you the medication. In America, they say you cannot do that because it is a conflict of interest because the doctors will want to sell medication. It is a conflict of interest if your business model is to continuously drive profit over people. That will become a conflict of interest. But if you look at people as human beings, then you just treat them because that's the human thing to do. Now, Fox Business reports that nearly 1 in 5 Americans has unpaid medical debt. Okay.
Mhm.
Medical debt as well is one of the highest causes of bankruptcies in the United States.
Correct.
Okay. There is a never ending list of situations like this where medical debt upended the lives of many people. Okay. And we'll add some of those on the screen.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
And the reason why this medical debt's kicking is because all your life, they've also created this policy where you must have insurance.
Mm,
But you pay the insurance all this while until that event happens.
yeah.
So not only are you going through the pain of being sick from having to eat all this junk food all your life,
Yeah.
to now the insurance companies start coming up with stories. Oh, you gotta pay your your whatever policy is called before they can start treating you. Your
Yes.
employer lets you go, so you automatically lose
Your
those healthcare
benefits.
benefits. So
Yeah.
you end up just go to zero.
Listen, this website here shows a long list of women who had cancer, breast cancer, and so on and so forth.
Yes.
Okay. And it's like at the point where you have cancer, there is vultures just floating around,
Yes.
financial vultures.
Yes.
So listen, Americans are already drowning in a lot of debt. Medical debt is one of those. But I think that this is a window, right? Or an area where we have the power to take back control of our health and thereby our wealth.
Hmm.
And this is something that I believe can be done in conjunction with Bitcoin.
People will say, "How you guys figured it out again?"
Let
Tell
us
them.
let us cook. Let us cook. Okay. Remember, I mentioned natural remedies at the beginning of this video.
Yes, sir.
The reality of the matter is, and you'll see many videos about this if you start browsing on the internet, many people will travel outside of the country start telling you stories about how they started naturally losing weight, started becoming more creative. Their mind was more relaxed. They were less stressed. They felt more energetic just by being outside of the country. The foods that they were subjected to were in a better state than what you'll find in the West.
How does Bitcoin fixes that?
Well, here's the thing. First, you have to be in a less stressed position because the idea is to reduce stress. Stress is one of the leading causes of diseases. It also will take you towards mental illnesses. Okay. One other way you can reduce stress, okay, is by being in a better state of finance.
Yes.
Right. And one way, finances is definitely one of a leading stressing
of relationship. The reason why weddings fall apart is mostly finance.
Because of finances. Part of this is because your finance or your savings do not maintain its value.
Right? Or the fact that you're living a life filled with debt. You're living in a debt-based system.
Exactly. And you cannot outwork this system because you have to factor in inflation, taxes, and all these other things.
You work for it, they print it, the value goes down. Of course, you're stressed.
Exactly. Well, what if I told you you can save your money in a way that will continuously grow over time? Yes, it's not going to be growing in a straight line, but there is nothing is linear in this world, right? Progress is not linear. And so, but if you can save your money in an asset that is returning an average of at least 100%, I don't have the exact number right now.
70 to 100% annually.
Then it seems to me that your savings will always be at a pace where you don't have to work double time just to maintain the value of your money itself.
Worry about your stock market.
Exactly.
Or your real estate.
Exactly. So you can now reposition yourself to be in a place that has less stress, better food, better environment, and be able to just work enough to sustain and save. And when you're saving within something like Bitcoin, which is what we're talking about here. It seems to me this is a strategy to walk away, to take back control of your health and your wealth, thereby not being a returning customer to the pharmaceutical companies.
Exit the system that is killing you.
They say the matrix. We are decoding the matrix.
That's what we're doing. That's what we'll do on this channel.
The only question is, are you going to listen in? Are you going to tune in? And most importantly, will you take action?
STAKK.
Come on now.
Name with action.
Anything else, double up.
Anything else, take that action, click on that like button, subscribe, share with your friends.
Okay. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, praise and out.
Double up.